What I found most rewarding in being a community health nurse is my interaction with the society, my interaction with the village women. Because we're taking this health to the grassroots. And that is the primary healthcare initiative. And this primary healthcare initiative is about bringing healthcare to where people live and work. And what do? We do health education, telling them what they need to do to remain healthy. We talk about maternal and child health care, she already rightly said. When we talk about pregnant women, take care of them. They go through the antenatal to ensure that at the end of the pregnancy, we have a life baby and a life mother. We talk about environmental sanitation, which is a topic of this year's annual health day. Wellness through personal and environmental hygiene. In that environmental sanitation, we talk about how do you keep your environment clean? How do you take care of your environment so that the environment will be healthy? We talk about clearing the bushes around. We talk about destroying or doing away with empty containers that may likely contain water that mosquito would love to breed there. Then we talk about food and nutrition. How do we make the village women, how do we, the village people, how do we ensure that they have good nutrition? We don't want to talking about burger, talking about fried rice. We know our local food that they need to eat to be healthy. Then we talk about essential drugs. There are some drugs that are in essential drug list. That is essential. When you talk about essential, it means a drug that is mostly needed.
Can you reel out some?
We talk about anti-malaria because our area is we have malaria in our society. We talk about worm expellers. We talk about painkillers. We talk about antipyretic. We talk about small antibiotics. Antibiotics that will help them to remain healthy.
And so the weekend beckons. Today is the 12th of December 2024. It's a Thursday. How you doing? Hope you're good. Okay, so after this weekend, it will be just 2 more weeks until the year finally comes to an end. I hope you're preparing for it. I hope you have also prepared for your New Year resolutions. You know what they say about starting off a new year and ending a particular one and starting off a new one. I don't know how many persons still keep up with their resolutions as soon as the year kicks in. Some people, you know, as soon as they're making those resolutions, an hour or two later, you know, it goes off the roof. Some others keep it at least 2 or 3 weeks, some 1 month or 2, and it's off the roof. Or whatever it is, make sure you are getting better at who you are. Welcome, everybody. This is the morning show. I'm Charles Pius.
Welcome, everybody. This is, of course, Thursday, like he rightly said, 12th in the month of the month. And I say a very big welcome to you. We'll be bringing you the newspaper headlines, review, and every other thing we have lined up for your pleasure this morning. My name is Belinda Ngobodo. We'll be right back after this. You're welcome back. Let's begin with the Punch newspapers this morning. Screaming headline: 2.7 trillion naira debt. Nigerians face blackouts as gas producers cut supply to Gencos, with the wider power minister presidency aware of situation, say Gencos.
COVID-19 variant, inbound passengers to present health declarations.
Bank workers blame CBN as cash shortage worsens.
Ramfac, Tinubu panel differ on VAT sharing formula.
Defamation: Abuja or your courts bar for the sale of Farotimi's book.
Nigeria, Germany to deepen ties as Tinubu hosts Steinmeier.
Gateway Airports, NCAA thwarts Ogun's claim of approval.
Over to the Daily Times newspaper. On the Daily Times, Nigeria's power minister updates on Siemens projects, renewable energy ties with Germany.
German president laus Nigeria's progress, boasts bilateral ties.
House of Reps to investigate activities of Nigeria Customs Service.
Tinubu will contest in 2027 and will win, presidency assures.
Senate declares Governor Okpebholo's seat vacant, invites INEC to conduct by-elections. Barrels in November, says an OPEC reports.
Malaria vaccine is a multi-dose vaccine that must be completed, says Professor Makola.
Federal government plans additional 150 megawatts by year-end. National grid collapses 12th time this year.
NAFDAC destroys expired fake products worth 11 billion naira in Ibadan.
On the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, media stakeholders harp on press freedom, principled journalism.
Adamawa Assembly sacks Lamido as Council of Chiefs chairman.
Reps probe customs over smuggling and brutality at borders.
Our reforms working, says Tinubu.
Aircraft skids runway at Abuja airports.
Local government chair, 6 others die in Niger Jigawa auto crash.
Graduation celebration turns tragic as 3 students die, 30 others injured. And now to the Nation newspaper. Abandoned Federal Secretariat in Lagos to become luxury apartments. POS operators raise charges, banks ration cash. Court orders confiscation of Farotimi's controversial book. Dangote refinery begins petrol exports to Cameroon. How funds saved from subsidy removal is being spent by government. Find out, just in case you're wondering, with the writer Idris, president's focused on sustainable prosperity for Nigerians. Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport runway shot after cargo planes skidding off. That's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Tax reform, Oyedele counters Ramfac VAT claim. Infrastructure development tops Benue's 550 billion naira budget 2025 estimates. Hope rises for greed will progress on Siemens projects. All the details you can find on the Nation newspaper. On the Blueprint newspaper this morning, federal government mulls state-owned plants as national grid collapses 12th time, with the rider to add 150 megawatts before year-end.
Tinubu to German president will handle Mali. Niger, Burkina Faso's return to ECOWAS with wisdom.
Provide evidence of ownership. Wike's aide task those alleging land grabbing.
Abuja court jails man for $115,000 internet fraud.
Nigeria recorded 467,000 TB cases in 2023, says the First Lady, Remi Tinubu.
NAS declares Edo Governor Okpebholo Deputy Idahosa seat vacant.
Africa to host World Cup 2030. It's actually a coalition of countries hosting this World Cup. Morocco is actually the country picked out of Africa. So maybe, yes, Africa hosting, but it's just one country out of two other countries. All right. Abuja courts jails man for $115,000 internet fraud. 5 rescued as cargo plane skis off runway at Abuja airport. As are the headlines that we also saw in the other newspapers. On the Guardian newspaper this morning, future of opposition uncertain as politicians begin realignment.
Tinubu will seek re-election. Opposition can't stop him, says Bwala.
Power sector crisis. Genco's unpaid invoices hit 1.4 trillion naira amidst 12th grid collapse.
Dangote refinery exports PMS to Cameroon. Partners Neptune Oil.
How electricity consumers can get reprieve for injustice and complaints.
Despite security blockage, Sanusi vows to install new district head of Bichi.
Political stability, security top agenda at ECOWAS meeting.
Power sector crisis. Genco's unpaid invoices hit 1.4 trillion naira amid 12th grid collapse.
All the details you can find on the newspaper this morning. All right, we're headed for a short break. When we get back, we'll go straight to the review. Do stay with us.
We are local.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was
Why the main market is in chaos. People are
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye. We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
This thing is touch everybody. Even I personally, I wish to travel. This X-Man is coming. I wish to travel, but because of this thing, all those transportation and things, everything all around, majority of people cannot meet up. So, but what we have that we don't have anything to say. It is only God can help us in this country. There's no any advice for this our government again, because many advice before they bomb my father, our Nigerian government they collect a lot of advice. They don't meet up. So I don't need to stress myself to give them advice. Who am I to give them to give government advice? So I know that it is only God can fight for us and give us what we need in this country.
Seriously, it's affecting both the good side and the bad side, seriously. Because now, even me, as you can see me now, I'm just trekking from where I am. You understand? Because of the hard for this cost of the fuel, you understand? Seriously, it's too bad. Even now, seriously, I can't even tell you that many people cannot even travel for this Christmas because of the hardship of the fuel. You understand? For this December period, when government try help assist people at least to do something, or when they came to pay salary, they should add something to the masses so that at least they can get something to add to what they are having. You understand?
This transport fare is very obvious. See, it's really affecting us with that we are far distance from our home. And if I thought about to go my place now, go and come back, I need to like 150,000 naira. So
What would I go and give to my people, my family, my mothers, and my siblings that they are left in the village? All the way say I'm coming to come to Abuja to come and hustle. But the hustle now say, bros, you joke, you joke. So let government just really help us. It's too much. And the transport fare, even to go to work, self, our salary cannot even pay our house rent, self, talk less of say feeding. Feeding aspect is even worse. So everything is very increasing at back. It should help us. It's obvious. It's very even the one that is even in the stomach, they are angry.
Honestly, people have been suffering due to the cause of the hardship that we are finding ourselves to it now, especially this time that we are. Many people are traveling. The cost of transportation are even high. Some people traveling and going to the Christmas, even to come back is very difficult for them to come back due to the uh, hardship that people have found themselves to eat now. Where you have been entering before, like 5,000 and now it's at about 10,000 or 15,000. Then, and while you look at all these things, then at the end, you make to understand as if people have entered the one of kind hardship. If not God that will even help us, we have no any other ways to even come out outside of it. May we pray for our country, especially our leaders, let them look upon this issue to even bring everything down so that everybody will be happy and even move as the way before. That's our prayer.
Okay, like there are so many ways government can actually come through. Okay, like I think last was it 2 years back, there were buses, government provided buses, at a subsidized rate. So I believe if they can do the same thing this time around, it will have a way of reducing the pain and making transport affordable for common person. So there are so many ways they can actually come through. The CNG buses are still there. They can make more provision for that. So many ways. Even the philanthropists can also come through, like non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations. There are ways they can come through, for the people and maybe make transport at a very subsidized rate. State government, not only federal government, state government can also come through, even the local government and other bodies.
This thing is touch everybody. Even I personally, I wish to travel. This Xmas is coming. I wish to travel, but because of this thing, all those transportation, and things, everything, all around.
Welcome back. You're watching Signature Television. So we have our reviewer in-house, Mr. Lawrence Ibenyewa. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, thank you.
So this headline on The Guardian this morning, future of opposition uncertain as politicians begin realignment. I mean, everyone is looking at 2027, even though it's 2 years plus to that election. Permutations are up and the horse tradings have started. Do you think that the opposition stand any chance come 2027?
Well, it depends on them. It depends on what they're able to do. If it's something that happened in 2023, when everybody wants to become presidential candidate, I don't see how far they can go. And that is what happens when people are more interested in their self-interest than what to impact on the generality of people. If, as a Nigerian, my concern is to how to make the country better. And it can be done with a better governance structure. And you know that there are maybe, there is P2B, there is Conquest, there is Atiku, and so on. And there are others may emerge. So they should be thinking, what combination of these persons can produce a better Nigeria for us? Not what will I do to become the candidate of the opposition? So that is really our problem. It is not, the zeal is not how to make Nigeria, but the basically how do I become presidential candidate? Not even president. Some are prepared, some are happy to answer presidential candidate of a party. Are you getting it? So I don't know how far they can go. If they're able to put the acts together, align forces or realign forces, and then put up a strong front, they should be able to. That's how Buhari emerged.
Yes, that's an example you can easily point at. But then you would say, has this coalition really even worked? Because it's not even just about winning an election, coalition winning an election. It's about doing the right things and taking the country to another level, at least better than where they left.
Which one? I see where it worked. Which one? The former one or the
former one? I mean, the one that happened in 2014/2015, where different parties came together and formed a united front that brought Buhari and Osibajo.
It
worked.
The aim was to take up government. Didn't they succeed? So it worked for them. But did it work for Nigeria? That's the bigger question.
So that's the thing. Do you think this would work if the coalition, if we have seen that coalition really doesn't work? Do you think this one would work and work for Nigeria?
I think it will work. Reason: Nigerians are getting wiser every day. People are being put to account every day, and it is with a more enlightened public. I'm sure that whoever emerges now will know how the person in power has fared, the incumbent has fared. You see how Nigerians. The other day we were talking about Jonathan's posters being hosted everywhere in the north. There are reactions to what they are passing through, and any sensitive person will say, these people have seen Wahala. What do I do to make their lives better? I don't think that anybody should be told that he should up his game if he gets to power, or that he should improve on what is on the ground to make Nigerians happy. I don't think anybody needs to be told that. Honestly, I don't think so.
Boala is saying that opposition can't stop Tinubu for 2027, that he must come back for re-election.
It depends on where he derives his prediction from. Is it based on the fact that they will delegate the electoral process, or based on the fact that Tinubu is performing well?
Based on the fact that the alliance is going on, no matter the alliance and all of that, they cannot be able to overthrow.
That's what I'm saying. Is he saying it based on the fact that the incumbent is doing very well and Nigerians will vote for him? Or is he doing very well? Is he saying so based on the fact that he believes that they will be able to manipulate the electoral process? These are two things. If he's saying it based on the fact that the guy is doing so well, is he doing so well? Is it based on the ability to manipulate the electoral process? That may be, if you ask me, that is where his confidence lies. That's the way I look at it. Because people cannot be. I was coming to work now. I was looking on the streets. I said, everywhere is dry. I said, is today a Monday? Is this sit at home? No. Sincerely. I looked, vehicles ordinarily where you take 2 minutes to cross the road. All the roads are dry. So at a festive period, close to how many weeks to Christmas celebrations, when there should be heightened economic activities, heightened movements, and nothing is happening. And you tell us that he will come back to power. Based on what? Based on what permutations?
Well, I'm sure you've also experienced that national grid collapsed yesterday because light went off in the office. And we experienced it here. I don't know if you experienced it at home yesterday, because I also experienced it at home. But it seems that the grid collapsing doesn't take so much time, to recover. So when we hear grid collapsing, we shouldn't be so sad, because the next 1 or 2 hours, the thing will bounce back. And they are saying that they're going to add another 150 megawatt by year end. This is the 12th time the grid is collapsing in this year alone. Is it a sign of growth? Is it a sign of development? In that breath of collapsing of grid for 12 times in a year, we're hearing the federal government saying that 150 megawatts will be added before December finishes. Is this to you a sign of growth in that level?
Greek collapse has become part of our national life. I mean, it's like it's a news. It's something you expect to hear quite often.
Expect to hear.
Or something you expect to hear quite often, and it's no longer. I mean, it's becoming funny. It's becoming like I don't know how to put it, but it's really embarrassing. The other day, the minister said he has set up a committee to look into why the grape is collapsing. Some few weeks back, National Assembly has intervened. All this back and forth, and this is the government that is telling you that he will. Nobody should talk about opposition should not come in demand. There is no vacancy in Aso Rock and so on and so forth. Is it because things are going well for the country? How long ago was the power? What do you call it? The power structure, power sector privatized. So what have we benefited from it? So really, it's really embarrassing. We are bringing in 150 megawatts or whatever they said they are bringing in. Until we see it. I heard the president saying that, talking with the German president, that the CMS, he said this person is and so on. Until we see it. It's not, we are tired of promises and we are doing this, we are doing that. Let us see the result. That's the most important thing.
Gas producers actually cut supply to Gencos that affected the recent collapse that we had in the grid.
That should not be our concern. Whether they cut or they increase or they reduce, should that bother us? Let them give Nigerians power supply regularly. And for wait till we talk about power. Do you know how much those of us that so-called band A spend in electricity? It pains me so much. In fact, I spend more on electricity than fuel in my car. Sincerely.
Wow.
I do, yes. I do, sincerely. It is. You are not in band A.
I don't even know which one is band A, but
if you enter band A, you will know. Nobody tells that. You don't know. You know because you are not there. When you come in.
Is it because of the amount you pay?
Of course, the amount we pay, it is killing, and that was one of the issues that brought about the protest. The last what was it? Our protest, end bad governance protest. It was one of the points that the protesters alerted the president, and that was, as a matter of fact, that is the biggest problem for me as an individual. And upon that, you are still talking about collapsing or not collapsing, and all this money you are making, what are you using to do?
That is actually a very, very interesting point to make, because electricity is a very important source for any economy. I mean, if you have electricity at least constant enough, I think the complaint has always been that we don't pay what we should pay, and that when we start paying what we should pay, that we should have this power constant. But then now people are paying what they should pay.
Maybe it's because I'm not started paying. Some of you have not started paying.
No, but I heard they will still migrate a whole lot of persons into band A very soon. And
Pray they don't do it so fast. Pray they don't do it so fast.
Right?
Pray for it.
Maybe we'll take some shock absorber.
We are even praying that we revert to where we
used to be.
Tax reform bills, framework to check abuse of VAT spending in place as presidency. But my question is, how when did they notice there has been an abuse of that? Because everyone's been talking about, especially the president's talking about tax reform bills.
I don't, certainly this story is not very clear to me. Is it abuse those who receive the VAT? This
VAT spending.
I'm coming. VAT is shared between levels of government. VAT is like the tax on commodities sold in the market, or goods and services. The VAT portion that it is shared into the three levels of government: federal, state, and then local government. Now, if a state gets its own fair share of the VAT, we want to go and check what they use their VAT for in the federation. I don't know. I need to read deep into that to know how they're going to do it. Is that the only money that is abused? They have maybe VAT is about 10% of their budget. There are other components of the budget, other sources of income. Is it the VAT that they must be sure how it is utilized? What of the other sources of income? What of the other revenue heads? How would they also make sure that it is not being abused? So that story doesn't really make sense to me. Sincerely, it doesn't. If you maybe you can.
Well, just to make sense, I buy into your input, really. Court restrained further sale publication of Farotimi's book. I mean, the book has made so many chart-topping, activity in the last few days since it was released. I'm not sure if that book would have been a bestseller courtesy of Amazon if Babalola did not come in to do the things that he did, because it was part of the reasons why the thing show up to where it is. Do you think this move by courts asking the stoppage of the sale of the book would make any difference? Because, I mean, the book is all over the place.
I just want to ask you, if the one you have will surrender it to authorities, the one in your house?
But there's some shelves, the shelves in Abuja that have removed it from their shelves. That means some stores, some bookstores in Abuja have removed it from their shelves.
Those who have bought theirs, would they return it to the bookshops?
If it's seen with you in public, you may be arrested.
I read it in my house. So let me tell you, there are things that happen in this. There are things that happen inside that you begin to laugh. You know that this man, I'm sure Belinda didn't know that there was such a book somewhere.
Until the whole thing. Exactly. We had to go read it because
maybe you know, because I know maybe you know.
Because of the situation, we had to go read the news.
Even know. So you are telling the world, what you did with the judiciary. Well, what you allegedly did. I'm not saying he's guilty or not, but people who never knew such thing existed. In fact, I read online maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, and one guy who said he's going to come, he will come and testify, and decided the case that involved him. He is a lawyer to a lecturer in one university in Ekiti State or so. That had to who had the case. In fact, somebody who is teaching in Afro University had the case with his wife, and the wife took the children and went to Port Harcourt to stay there. Apparently, severing the marriage somehow. That with the influence of Afro Babalola, police went to Rivers State, Port Harcourt, brought the wife and the children, and brought them back to Ekiti State, allegedly because of the influence of Afro Babalola, because the lecturer teaches at his university. The man said he's prepared to come and testify on this Farotimi case. So these things are coming up. Maybe there are other people who are victims of that high-handedness, if I may use the word, or somebody, well, not high-handed, influence, of woman influence on the judiciary process in Nigeria. So these things are coming up. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have had that, wouldn't have had it.
Yeah.
So I don't know really if this thing is an adventure or a misadventure for Afro Babalola. And he let me tell you, Farotimi that I know, he will be laughing where he is. If you think you have hurt him, you have not. The Farotimi that I know, he's okay where he is. That's why when I heard that Toby went to
meet Afro Babalola.
I said, why did you to do what? To do what? If somehow I would have told him not to go. So,
I mean, he criticized him online, saying that this is taming
nobody should beg for his behalf.
Anyways, thank you so much.
The point I'm making is that the guy has just helped in publicizing the book. What ordinary people did not know. The book is making the bestsellers. The book they issued, we never knew about.
He's making a lot of money. In fact, Afro Babalola is saying that he's going to start collecting the royalties from the money that is defaming him, and based on that, so he's going to.
I'm sure he shot himself on the leg. He did. He never knew what he was doing.
All right, Lawrence Ibenyawa, thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you, Charles and Belinda.
We're back shortly after this. Do stay with us.
this is Entertainment News, and my name is Quincy Roland. Today we're going to take you around the roller coaster of the so many things that have been happening in the entertainment industry. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. First on the list, we have famous Nigerian actress and media personality Omotunde Adebowale, popularly known as Adaku or Lolo One, has disclosed why she preferred younger men. The actress made this known while discussing her unique preference for men. Speaking during her latest interview on Onyemomo TV, Adaku described her taste as very weird. The 47-year-old said, "My tastes in men are really weird. I don't like old people. I like young men with long hair and earrings, someone who is visually appealing." Gone are those days when you will be looking for a God-fearing man. Are you even God-fearing? I like good things, and I find it difficult to connect with any man that isn't Eurocentric because I am a fine dining girl. You won't catch me on a date with an Amala Spot, the single mother of four stated. Social media critic Martins Otse, aka Very Dark Man, has denied threatening the life of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over the revocation of a plot of land belonging to the family of late Colonel Paul Ogbebo. The video claiming that Wike revoked the Ogbebo's property, which was allocated since 1981, has gone viral on social media. Following the revocation, a WhatsApp broadcast message claimed that Very Dark Man threatened the FCT minister's life. Reacting, the social media critic distanced himself from the alleged threats, stressing that he only uses his platform to pursue justice for those oppressed. And we have Nigerian singer Bella Shmurda opens up about his personal life, revealing why he decided to quit smoking cannabis. Bella Shmurda made this revelation in a recent podcast appearance, delving into the profound impact it had on his personal life. According to Bella Shmurda, he stopped smoking cannabis due to the anxiety and fear of future that it's triggered. And on the foreign scene, we have Bank of Spain unveiled on Tuesday 2 new portraits of the Spanish King Felipe and Queen Letizia, made by famous U.S. photographer Annie Leibovitz. Bank of Spain commissioned the artworks to enlarge the bank's portrait collection of authorities and royals. Both photography portraits, which cost 137,000 euros, were painted on 2 separate canvases and will be part of the Bank of Spain's art collection opened to public. The portraits were made in February at Madrid Royal Palace. And we have popular American actor and musician Jamie Foxx has opened up on his battle with brain bleed that led to a stroke. Foxx made this disclosure while speaking about the cause of his hospital admission in 2023. In a new Netflix special, the 56-year-old actor explained that he experienced a bad headache and blacked out for 20 days. He said he was admitted at the hospital where he suffered a brain bleed that led to a stroke. Foxx said he found himself in a wheelchair and unable to walk after he woke from the coma. And that's all we have for today's news. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media platforms and tune in daily for your entertainment news. I am Quincy Roland. See you next time.
You're welcome back, still on Signature Morning, Signature TV. We've had interesting stories from the entertainment news. We saw what Very Dark Man is doing, accusing Nyesom Wike of defaming people and then leaving poor people. He should leave poor people alone. He's been harming the poor people. He made a call dragging Wike, and then Wike vows to demolish buildings also. And Very Dark Man is still on the case. But my question is, why is Very Dark Man always going after politicians who has money? Why not other people who are really doing other things? We have a lot of people, defaming your poor people out there. Must he go after people who are on the top government seat?
He has taken this posture as somebody who speaks for the poor. He has taken this posture as somebody who wants to stand in the gap for the oppressed, those who don't have the wherewithal to go after this top people. I think he started off like somebody who wants to, make the sale of fake and substandard products, seem like a big deal. He started off with one of those actresses who was posturing as an ambassador for a certain brand, that's a cream brand, that was going to sell things. So he was practically that kind of person who wants to tell people that this is wrong, that if you're going to do an ambassadorial work for somebody, endeavor to make sure that that particular product is at least NAFDAC certified. So he has always been in that space. In fact, he opened recently an NGO where he raised a whole lot of money. Don Jazzy paid 100 million into that account, and beyond that, there are several other persons who have paid monies into that account. So he has always postured himself as somebody who you can, go to and reveal certain injustice that has happened between you and somebody, and then he would try to solve it. So for this particular Wike story, Wike recently have gone haywire in Abuja. He has gone demolishing, properties in the Federal Capital Territory. So many persons are saying that he's grabbing lands. In one of the headlines that we actually reeled out to you earlier, one of his aides in Abuja have said that if you have any proof of any sort that he's grabbing land, that somebody may have come to the newspaper or to the news or online to state that he's grabbing land, that they should bring a proof or even go to court. But so for this particular matter, Deji Adeyanju, a very dark man, are working in tandem, in collaborations, in making sure that Wike is called out so that he doesn't go about demolishing people's properties and taking their lands and selling it or giving it to his friends. And it's shocking that even the seat of power, where the president is, hasn't said anything about what's going on. I mean, you would have thought that you have some sort of reaction from the president, some sort of call to order by the president, but that is not happening. That hasn't happened. And the FCT minister is going all out, to demolish people's properties, to sell it off to some other persons, to revoke people's lands and give it to some other persons. And that's quite sad. I have in fact a good authority, somebody who has a land document, more like this property is one that they've lived in for over a decade or two, and then Wike is asking the person to leave the place. Sometimes too, again, if you look at the whole land use thing, all land belongs to the government, especially if the government wants to use the land for greater good of the people, all right? But adequate compensation must be paid to those who whose land you want to take to do a greater good. But it doesn't look like that's happening. People who have been complaining so far since this demolition started in Abuja have been bitterly complaining that they got their land through using the right channel, and Wike is going all out in destroying their properties and selling those lands to some other persons for private purposes, for private estates, and that's not what what that land land use is supposed to be.
Yeah, the controversy actually erupted from a video alleging that Wike revoked the Ogbebo family's property, and a very dark man was being accused of issuing threats to Wike to revoke that particular land. But later, reacting to the claims via Instagram, very dark man came out to say, I did not lay any threat on Wike's life. I was just appealing to the minister to revoke. But I don't know, because if you listen to the tone of which a very dark man react to these issues that are coming up, one would wonder whether it's not sounding very harsh or sounding very threatening to the person in question. But anyways, we're hoping that the minister comes out to do something regarding this particular land of Ogbebo. I think.
Ogbebo's land is not only the land that people have been complaining about. There are some other lands that people have complained about. I think there was one Deji Adeyanju also is working on, several others within the Lifecam Bulugwe axis, and some even around the Wuse axis. And in fact, there are even some that had happened a year ago, where a large expanse of land in Asokoro was allegedly taken from somebody who also took the matter to court. So there are several things that are happening in that Abuja that people are complaining about. I saw on TV just yesterday that somebody is calling for Wike's probe, that the president should quickly call Wike to order, or even probe Wike for the activities of land grabbing in the FCT. I mean, this is the FCT, right? The FCT administration, they have the powers to expand Abuja further, but I'm wondering why they're going for places that people have already bought land, bought properties. I mean, if you want to expand Abuja, I mean, Abuja is still a very large place, you know, if you want to expand. It's not like the land is being used for a greater good of the people of the FCT or even Nigeria, but I mean, these things are done and then resold to friends and family members, and then it becomes really chaotic. I understand there's a demolition that happened even during the Erufai period. The Erufai period, he was trying to actually stick to the master plan by doing as much as possible, destroying some properties. That actually made people lose a lot of land in the FCT. But now this one, there's nothing like of such happening. It's not like a mass destruction going on. It's not like they are trying to repair the master plan, or people have bought lands or maybe have built in waterways or something. There's none of that. But it's just one morning you see a bulldozer come to front of your house and they say you should evacuate immediately and that they need to clear this place. It's just devastating. And the fact that there's even no notice given to some of these persons who claim that they have land is even the painful part. You live in a house, you bought a house, and you know how difficult it is to actually grow work in Nigeria. And after doing that, you bought a house where you are going to stay at least for the time being, where you're going to live through. And then all of a sudden, somebody is telling you to pack away and that this land is being sold or something. And it's just so devastating. And I hope that the FCT minister would look into these cases. I'm hoping, or the president should call him to order so that some of these issues will be dealt with amicably.
Exactly. Well, I don't think that this particular issue, that is affecting people, I don't think they are not being informed prior to the demolition or prior to the warnings that come. The minister actually warned residents not to rebuild structures in the areas they mentioned until the government decides the next thing to do. But these people, you see them going ahead to rebuild their structures, to reclaim their abandoned structures. Some of these lands or these buildings, they informed the resident to leave the area prior to the demolition. But you see people still insisting this is my land and all of that. So in as much as people's life and residency is in the line, please, as far as you get the warning or you get the information for you to leave a particular place, or for you to stop rebuilding any particular structure, please heed to the government considerations. And of course, I know that there must be compensation from the federal government, from the minister himself. There must be compensation to these people, these residents around that particular area. We keep talking about these things, and it is 10 minutes already into the hour of 9 o'clock, and then we're gonna go for a short break. And when we come back, we'll bring you more Internet Watch coming up next.
Welcome to Internet Watch, your one-stop show for all the buzzworthy stories, viral videos, and trending news lighting up the social media space. I am Joshua Ritogun, your guide through the whirlwind of hot takes, white conspiracies, and everything in between. So buckle up, it's time to dive into the digital chatter like never before. It has happened again. I know, right? Sorry, guys. Well, the Nigerian National Power Grid experienced its 12th collapse in 2024 on Wednesday, leading to a widespread blackout across the country. I mean, we can literally now share it one for each month. If you still have lights, then congrats. You're enjoying only what God knows. Like, I don't know what you're enjoying. Well, the Nigerian National Grid and several power companies have confirmed the incident, with restoration efforts already underway, even though we don't know what restoration means. You get the frequent collapses have sparked public frustration and calls for systematic improvement in the power sector. And don't forget, this is the 105 times in 10 years, despite 1.4 billion loans. Wait, I beg your pardon. Let me take that again. $1.4 billion loan, so that you don't get it mixed up with naira or dollar. It was dollar. I hope you have solar now, because you can't even buy fuel because of the outrageous price of fuel right now. A lot of people are saying the national grid has been bewitched. Some say the operators are just looking for December cash outs. Now, concludes, I want to tell you something. In fact, someone said in the comment section that they should take the national grid to reboot camp or light camp in order to receive life. Whatever the case is, Nigerians are suffering. Now we don't have lights. Maybe it's high time we start having state grid, local grid, street grid, or better still, household grid. You can be a part of this conversation by using the hashtag Internet Watch with Joshua, or by following us on any of our social media platforms. Let's go to the street of the internet to get what people had to say about this. Society, una don't kill me. I no charge my phone, power bank, or laptop. Even electric fan, they on zero. Una don't kill me. Oh, I know Nigerians like to take things for just people like to play too much. Daniel Rega, as expected, nothing in quotes breaking about this news. How many times this year now? Disgraceful. You know, Daniel will always give his own peace of his mind. Lucky me, una know they ever give this gridlock something to eat. Now so collapse every month. They can't feed the gridlock. Oh, Jesus, the national, you can't feed it. Trader, can you kindly just shut down the whole thing? Let's know your department isn't functional at all. Like, let's just know that, okay, we've gone to solar, we've gone to using firewood and the rest. Austin, not JJ. South Africa has about 40,000 megawatts reserved grid for the entire country. The minister in Nigeria under federal government is boasting of having 2,500 megawatts. This one touched me. When other countries have a reserve power grids all over, shame. I mean, we have 2,000. Let's not go into that. It's just going to, cause a lot of heartbreak. Miriam said, I was already expecting the news. Nothing like breaking again. This one, a regular news. It's the fact that Nigerians don't even, like, it's a norm now. You don't feel again. Oh, yes, it has failed. It's troubling. Brand designer, come. Isn't there another English word for what actually happens to the grid? I'm tired of this collapse. What exactly is collapsing? Did it shut down, overload, malfunction, short circuit, overheat? What does collapse actually mean? Do you get? Can you help us explain it? Is it just, what out of collapse? What really happened? And finally on this, because of time, that the triplets, wow, in this economy, let's just move on. All these strategies now to cash out, as far as I'm concerned. Power grid can't turn to powerless grid. Ooh, word. So finally, before I leave here today, Punch newspaper made a post on X, well, of course, formerly known as Twitter. Listen to this. Okay. The Edo State 2025 appropriation bill of 6 billion, 605 billion, 76 million. Let me take it again. 506 billion, 605 billion, sorry, 776 billion, sorry, it's confusing me. You know what that means, right? Well, I was just reading what Punch newspaper posted. Don't get me wrong, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'll take just 5 comments on this statement by the Edo State governor. Of course, you know the comment section was going to run wild, but let me just take a few because of time. Emeka, who wrote the budget? Has he even studied it? As a matter, they confuse them. You sure say running the state go clear? Like, it's a very good question. I mean, the state governor, it was your budget, right? I'm not going to say anything. My opinion is not going to be here. It's just going to be the opinion of people. Mazi Uche, gave his own opinion. He said, though people are in for a long thing, a governor need not to be a grammarian, but where an elected governor cannot interpret figures, then OT-law. Just in case you don't understand what OT-law means, it means it has gone. You can just present a memo and tell him 1 million plus 2 million equals to 45 million, and he smiles and sighs. What? I mean, come on, guys, this is too much. This is too much. And finally, because I said because of time, this Timmy said, don't blame him now. He's not seeing the handwriting well. Like, you might not be able to see well. Do you know? Do you get maybe the lights in the room,